couple of minutes so that if any other persons are joining. Hello everyone, a very good morning. Welcome to the new sessions of Docker and Kubernetes. And I am Chaitanya. I will be the trainer for you related to Docker and Kubernetes, in which you are going to learn a lot of concepts related to the containers, container management and everything. Before I go into that concepts, let me introduce about myself. I'm Chaitanya. I'm here to train you on Docker and Kubernetes, and I'm having 13 years of experience into the IT industry, where I worked as a system administrator. Later, I worked as a system administrator, senior system administrator. Later, I worked as a cloud engineer. Now I am working as a DevSecOps engineer in a top level company with a L5 consultant. I'm an L5 consultant, which is a top level consultant. And I have my certification related to Kubernetes. I'm a certified Kubernetes administrator, and I'm having my AWS professional certifications. And as well as I'm having my certifications related to RHEL and as well as the Windows. I'm a Windows certified. So these are all the certifications which I am having. And coming to my experiences, I completely work with the I completely work with my containers, and I completely work with my Kubernetes clusters. I am the one who has created a Kubernetes cluster in my office. So this is about my experience. And before I start the concept of Docker and Kubernetes, I just want to know about yourself and what is your experiences and why you want to learn the Docker and Kubernetes. Yeah, anyone can start. Why you want to learn Docker and Kubernetes? What is your experience related? I mean, either it might be you might be a developer, or else what is your experience into IT world? I just want to know about that. Even if it is even if you are a fresher, you can say that. Nobody wants to discuss, or do I need to call with the name?
Hello, my name is Naveen. I'm working as a DevOps engineer, and that's why I want to learn on this Docker and Kubernetes.
How many years of experience?
I have 9-year experience.
So you are directly into the DevOps, or else are you started your career with any another?
Yeah, Red Hat certified. I'm Red Hat certified. I work with Red Hat, and then I switched to DevOps.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you.
I have 6 years, 8 months of experience in the Java full stack development. So we are not working we are doing just manual deployment. I want to convert my application to the Kubernetes and Docker environment. So that's what I want to learn in this hour.
Okay. So I have a full stack developer and I have a DevOps engineer. Any another person?
Hi, myself Nagarjuna. I worked for Oracle till last week. I'm having 18 years of experience as part of layoffs recently.
No, don't go with that layoffs kind of thing.
Yeah,
You worked as a Oracle. Into the
Opportunity.
databases.
OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Fine then. See, if there is anything related to layoffs and all things, we don't want to discuss about that, but that's okay. And you want to learn this Docker and Kubernetes as a part of understanding the deployment process and all of this.
Yeah.
So that's more than enough. Any another person?
Yeah, myself Ram Krishna. I have more than 14 years of experience as a DBA. Currently, I'm supporting Kubernetes and Docker and Kubernetes, so deployments. So I just for skill update only, I joined this course.
Fantastic. So you are a database administrator.
Yes, yes.
So which one? MySQL, Postgres, or Oracle?
Yeah, yeah, all Postgres, MySQL in Aurora Postgres, in AWS RDS. We are using pipeline CI/CD. So mostly my applications Kubernetes and Docker. So we are supporting to L2 team for the DevOps team. So we're involving the DevOps operations. So GitHub,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. If anybody wants to discuss.
Hi, this is Pratap.
Hi, brother.
I have completed my BTech 2025. Okay, I mean, one of my friend is referring, like you can do Kubernetes, Docker like that. That's why I'm very much interested to join this course.
Okay, fine. You are a fresher into the IT industry.
Sir,
Yeah, welcome to the IT.
sir, your good name?
I'm Chaitanya.
Yeah, sir, you are covering only AWS cloud or either Azure or Google also?
Why AWS cloud will be there? Here it is not a DevOps, it is about the Docker and Kubernetes. I'm going to deploy the servers in the AWS environment.
AWS, yeah, that's why I'm asking. It's only we are showing only AWS deployment, right? Not a Azure and Google Cloud, right?
Not Azure and Google Cloud.
Okay.
See.
Actually,
So
I have one question. Like before, started Kubernetes Docker, we need to some knowledge, basic knowledge like AWS like that.
I will tell you. Just give me a
Yeah.
minute so that you will get all the answers for your questions. Okay, guys. Let's start. Let us start with the concepts of Docker and Kubernetes. So, what is this Docker and Kubernetes? Everyone is having an very high level expectations right now. Why? Because if you open any YouTube or else if you open any social media platform anywhere, everyone is saying that Docker and in DevOps, Docker and Kubernetes are playing a very crucial role. Whoever wants to have like become a DevOps engineer, they needs to understand the Docker and Kubernetes. It's a prominent. It is a vital tool. These are the vital tools which are becoming very important for the DevOps in the deployment kind of field. Now, before we go into the deployments and everything, let us understand what exactly happens in an IT industry. What exactly happens in an IT industry, and then why we go for the Docker and Kubernetes. Excuse me. So whenever we are working in the IT industry, first of all, you need to understand one thing. So the overall in the entire world, you are having only two companies. One is the IT company. If you take any company, okay, either it belongs to IT or else it belongs to a non-IT. If you take a banking application, bank will comes under the non-IT. Medical, non-IT. Entertainment, non-IT. So like that, these non-IT guys want the support of IT industry so that their customers will be very happy to access their applications or also access their services. So for example, there is a bank team is there, or else there is a medical team is there, or else there is a entertainment, or else there is a travel, any kind of company is there. So now what they are going to do here is, if they want that the customers or also the clients or uh, the one who is accessing their services, they need to have an ease of accessing those services. They will contact the IT industry. They will come and reach out to the IT industry and ask for creating an application. For example, a bank team is there. Previously, when you go back to 2005, in such era, not in 2025, just to go back to 20 years, like just go back to 20 years, at that particular point of time, just imagine how you are going to deposit the money. If you want to deposit the money, what you need to do, you need to go for a bank, you need to write the deposit form, and then you have to wait on the line at least for 1.5 hours. Then you can deposit the money and you have to get the acknowledgement. So this is the process. And if you want to withdraw the money also, if the ATMs are available, then there is no problem. But if you want to withdraw the money also, then again you need to go to the bank, you need to write the withdrawal form, and then you have to wait in the queue at least for 1.5 hours, and then you can withdraw the money. So this is the process which has happened back in 2005. Later, what happened after 2005, we started working with the bank application. The computerization was happened in 1990 onwards. The computerization was happening, but that is internally within the bank. But later in 2000s, earlier 2000s or else late 1990s, they started working with the banking application. So the bank wants more feasibility for their customers, more ease of access to their services for the customers. So now what these non-IT companies are doing, they will come to the IT industry. So they want this IT guys. So in IT industry, there are two categories of the employees will be there, or else employees will be there. Someone will say that IT and non-IT. In IT industry also, there will be administrators, or else there will be accountants, everything will be there. But technically speaking, in technical terms, there are two different kinds of teams will be there. One is the development team. So technical teams I am talking. There will be a development team and there will be an operations team. Okay, so now what this two teams will do? So basically, these two teams, whenever a client comes to the IT industry, so the CEO and the higher level officials will have a meeting, and the managers will sit together. The development team managers and operations team managers will sit together and discuss about the requirements. What is the application that the client is expecting from the company? So how we are going to create that application, what we have to do, what are the steps that we have to take. So these are all comes under the requirement gathering. Requirement gathering. So what is the requirement of the customer, or else what is the requirement of the client? So we are going to gather everything. So once it is done, so then what we are going to do, we are going to do the gathering and analysis will be done. So developers will communicate among themselves which kind of application does we need to go for. So what is the front end should be, that will comes under the designing phase. In the designing phase, what the developers and operations team will do is they will coordinate with each other. They will sit each other and discuss about what should be the front end, whether we have to go with the React or also whether we have to go with Angular, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, Bootstrap. That will comes in the front end. So that is UI team will be there, who will be discussing about the user interface. Whenever you open a website, so whatever you are seeing in front of you, for example, there is ICICIbank.com is there. Whatever you are seeing in front of you, so this is developed by your UI team. That is the front end developers will be designing that with the help of HTML, React, Angular, or else some another front end languages. So UX team will be there. That is user experience team. So what is the main functionality of this UX team? They have to design the logos. They have to design the images. So everything will be done by them. Later, what they are going to do, so this UI team will communicate with the backend team. So there will be, so whenever you hit on login, or else I will go with the personal banking. In the personal banking, when I try to give the username and password, so these two credentials should communicate with the backend process, and from there it will be reaching to the database. So now what is happening here? So whenever the user has provided certain data, that should be processed. So the front end will collect the data and transfer it to the back end process. So that is the runtime. Which runtime we have to use? Either we have to use Java, or else we have to use the Python, or Golang, or Ruby, depending on our requirement. .NET, like that, there will be several types of runtimes will be there on which the user has to provide. I mean, when the user provides the data in the front end, that will be collected and processed in the back end, and that will be transferred to the database. So these things will be discussed among the developers. And then finally, databases. Which type of database we have to use? Whether we have to use MySQL, or else Postgres, or Oracle, or MS SQL. So these kinds of different kinds of databases are available. MongoDB and there are some NoSQL types of DBs are available. Depending on our requirement, we are going to choose the databases also. So this is how an application will be designed. So everyone, so the developers will communicate among themselves and they will come to a conclusion that we are going to use this front end and the framework. So they have to design a framework for that. So we will be using this front end and there will be a back end. I mean, the runtime will be this particular runtime. Either you can go with Java, Java with Spring Boot, or else Python, depending on the application and whatever the features that the client is requesting. Sometimes what is happening latest, the client is requesting for the speech recognition. Okay, speech recognition, then I can go with the Python. Okay, some services will be there where they require the Java application. So they will coordinate with among themselves and they will design an application. And in the backend, there will be databases. So where the data is going to be saved. So this will comes under the designing. After designing, we will be going with the implementation. Implementation in the sense, so the developers will create the application. The front-end developers will create the front-end application. Back-end developers will create the back-end application runtime, and they will connect with each other through the API. So, and then the databases, the data will be transferred to the databases. So here, this much of process will be happening. Sir, we are unable to understand. So now, the front-end developers, what they are going to do, they will develop the front-end. When they develop the front end, here you can see when I provide the username and password, there should be something that should be communicating with the back end. So this is the front end application which I have designed. Okay, this front end application should be transferring the user given data to the back end application. So there is a concept called as API or else API gateway will be there. So this API gateway will carry the given user information to the runtime, and from the runtime, the data will be supposed to the database. So this is going to happen in the entire application. So this is called as 3-tier web application, where you are going to have the web tier, application tier, and database tier. So these are the 3-tier applications which we are using in our day-to-day basis. So this is how it is going to happen. So then what is the phase? Implementation phase is done. So now the application is ready. You are having your application. The developers are having the application. Now comes the operations team. So now where is this application? So when the application is created, okay. Just give me a second, guys. One minute. Sorry. So I'm really sorry. Just give me a minute. Now, when the application is developed by the developers, so this application has to be deployed onto any of the servers. So where is the servers and who is going to monitor and manage these servers? So whatever the servers that are available in your company, so those will be managed and maintained by the operations team. Either you will have a data center. This is altogether a different concept. But the point is, you will have a data center, or else at least you will have a server room in which you will have the physical servers, and inside that servers again you will have the virtual machines and all the things. Any which ways we are going to discuss about that in the upcoming time. So now whatever the application that are created by these developers, so this application should be deployed onto the server. This application should be deployed onto the server and it should run. So now for this deployment, the operations team will have their own criteria. So how much amount of CPU, how much amount of RAM that we require, what is the database that we need to connect, how much amount of CPU and RAM that we have to provide. And actually there are multiple types of servers are available. So those are the development servers, staging servers, or we will call it as UAT. And then there will be prod servers. We'll discuss about them in detail, but try to understand. So once the application is created and the application is deployed onto the server, this application should be tested. So there comes the testing team. So they will test the application, whether there are any bugs inside the application, or else the application does having any spelling mistakes, or else anything, the functionality issues. Functionality issues, whether when the user is clicking on login, it should redirect to the login. It should not go to the sign up page. So functionality issues and every bugs they are going to check with the testing team. And later what they are going to do, once the testing team has tested that, then if they are okay, then it will go into the production environment or else into the live. So whatever the application that you are seeing here, whatever the bank applications, any application that you are accessing through the web console, those are in the production environment. So once the production is done, then we can go for the management. So the application creation is not a very big issue, but managing that application, monitoring the application will become a very big issue. So management team will come into the picture. So this is about the software development lifecycle. When you see the software development lifecycle, these 6 stages will be there. First is the requirement gathering and analysis, designing, implementation, and then testing, and then finally coming to the live, and finally management, monitoring and management of your application. In this entire process, where does Docker and Kubernetes will fit in? Docker and Kubernetes will fit into the implementation stage. Whenever you are creating, the developers has created the application, and if the application has to be deployed either into your servers, so here comes in the deployment stage. In the deployment stage, we will get the Docker and Kubernetes. How to deploy that application, who is going to deploy the application, how we are going to access the application, and how that application will be running. Everything will be coming into the deployment stage. In the deployment stage only, you will have the Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes. So now, what is this Docker and Kubernetes? Sir, you said that the application will be created and excuse me, and that is deployed into the servers. So then where is Docker, where is Kubernetes? Okay, before I go into the concept of this Docker and Kubernetes, first let me ask you a simple question so that you will understand what is the necessity of the Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, I'll just give you a live scenario or else an example scenario. Have you ever cooked? Have you ever made any dishes? Anyone? I think the bachelor guys will do that. Okay, so now the point is very simple. You got a promotion. Okay, you got a promotion and you said that I will give a party to all of my colleagues. You can come to my home. So when all of your colleagues has came to your home, you know a very good dish and you started preparing that dish and it came very well. Whoever has came to your home has praised you and they said that it's a fantastic and tasty dish that you have cooked, and we are very delighted to have it. And one of your colleague came to you and said that whatever you have cooked, that is fantastic. Can you tell me the recipe? So you started giving the recipe to your fellow friend. Okay, so he noted down everything, what should be happen and everything. And he went to his home. He went to his home and started preparing that food. Okay, is going to get the same taste and same texture? You understand my question? Whatever the recipe that you have given, whether he tries in his home, as he tries tries that in his home, he is going to get the same taste, same texture like you have prepared?
Oh,
No. Why? Maybe because of the environmental changes, or else because of the ingredients, because of how he is cooking. You said that you have to put it for 5 minutes. He made it for 6 minutes. So at least there might be a change. So the environmental changes will cause the change of taste, the change of texture, or else the ingredients which he is using may cause the change of taste and change of texture. So then what I have to do? Then what I have to do? So we'll pause here. The example I will pause it here. Now, one of our fellow friend has prepared an excellent application, excellent Java application he has prepared on Java 21 or Java 17. Now, when he created, or else when he developed that application, now what happened? That application is working fantastic in his laptop or else in his workstation. Why? Because he wants all the dependencies. He has downloaded all the dependencies, whatever required for that application to function. So everything he has done, each and every dependency, each and every minute dependency also he has downloaded and installed, and it is running good. Now, if I want to run the same application in a server where already I am having another application running, the lower version of the application is already running, the dependencies are lower version. So is it possible to run the same application, or else when the developer has given the application to me, he said that the application is functional, it is functional in my laptop, and when he gives that application to the servers, or else whenever he gives that application to his colleague, whether the application will be running as it is running in his laptop or workstation, whether it is going to happen like that? Do you understand the question here? Anyone? Did anybody understand the question?
Yeah, it may or may not work because of the environment variables
Because
on
of
the.
the dependencies, environment variables and everything, the application may or may not work. If it works, that's fine. If it not works, so then it causes a problem. So in the same, if you see the previous example, real time example, or else I won't say it's a real time example, real life analogy. So when he tries to cook the food, because of the environmental changes, because of the ingredient changes and recipe changes, it might not come well. So now what I will do there is, you don't need to cook the food. What I will do, I myself will prepare the food for you and put it in a container. Okay, I will pack that entire food in a container and give it to you. Don't worry. So if I say that no, what is going to happen? I myself is cooking the food. I myself is giving the dependencies and everything. So I'm just packing the entire food in a container and giving it to the other person. Now what he can do, he can just open the container and he can happily eat that food. In the same manner, when we are coming to the containers, whenever we are coming to the Docker, okay, Docker is just an application. Inside the Docker, whatever we are running, it is important. Whatever the containers that we are running, it is important for us, not the Docker. See, if I open a Google Chrome, just understand the analogy. If I open a Google Chrome will do nothing. In Google Chrome, if I open AWS console, it will open the AWS application. If I open Azure portal, it will open the Azure portal, which is important for me. Google Chrome is a way to access the web application. Whatever the web application I want to access, I can access the banking application, I can access the cloud applications. Sometimes I can access AWS, sometimes I can access Azure. It is not very important for me. What is important? Google Chrome is just an application. It is not important. On top of that, what I am running is important. I am running an AWS application, or else I am running an bank application, or else I am running an entertainment application, or else I can go with a travel application. That is important for me. So now, if Google Chrome is not there, then I can go with the Firefox. In Firefox also, I can open the same browsing. I can browse the same content. If Firefox is not there, then the default browser, Edge browser, is there. Then I can use that. If Edge browser is also not there, then I can go with the Safari browser. So here, browsers are meant to access the application. In the same manner, whatever we are discussing about the Docker, okay, whatever we are thinking of, Docker is just an application to run the containers. Okay, Docker is an application to run the containers. What is a container is important for us. Okay, what is container? If Docker is not there, then in RHEL, I can go with Podman. Podman is also one of the containerization platform. If RHEL is not there, then I can go with ContainerD, which is a default containerization platform which is installed in every Linux. If ContainerD is not there, then I can go with RKT. If RKT is also not there, then I can go with some another containerized application. So the point is, whichever the application that you are choosing here, we are going with the Docker. Why? Because it is a popular containerization application. So that's why we are going with the Docker. So here, what is important? Important is to know about the containers. What is the functionality of the container is important, not the Docker. Neither you can use, either you can use Docker or else you can use any another containerization platform. Here, platform is not important. Whatever that you are running on the platform is important. So here we are going to learn about the containers. So in the back, when you come back to the example, or else when you come back to my explanation, what we are doing, we created an application. The developer has created an application and built the application. He gave it to the operations team. When the operations team is trying to run that application on the physical server, then application is not running. Why? So if you see here, I am already having a server. The operations team already have a server. So inside the server, we installed an application with the lower level dependencies. So there might be a Java application or Python application with the lower level dependencies. So for example, this is my app1, which is running. So when I try to run the second application with the higher level dependencies on the same server, if I try to run the application 2 on the same server with the higher level dependencies, either I have to shut down app 1 or else I have to shut down app 2. Two applications with the two different compatibilities will not run in a single server. For that reason, what I have to do, so that is the reason why I am going with the concept of containers. Containers are the isolated environment where you can run the different applications of different versions. So what will be there inside the container? Inside a container, you will have your own application and its dependencies. And these containers are running on the top of your Docker. So there will be a Docker application, and this Docker application will carry the containers, and inside the containers you will have the application and its dependencies. For example, app1 is there. So this is my container one. So to make you understand very clearly, we will discuss it in detailed manner in the next session. But as of now, I am having a container one. Inside that, I am having the app one, and this application will be running with all its dependency. Low level dependencies are there. So with the low dependencies, this app one will be running. In the same Docker application, I can create one more container. Okay, one more container. Inside this, I can run another application. So this is app2. This is app2 with the higher level dependencies. App2, and this is my container 2. And this is my high level dependencies, which means that all the dependencies are packed and they are running. So we are having in a total confused state. Don't get confused. Just understand So just like your Chrome browser, how it is running on an operating system, in the same manner, Docker is an application which is running on your server and it is running an operating system. Just like your Chrome browser, how we are opening the multiple tabs to run the multiple application. In one tab, I can run the AWS application. In the another tab, I am running the Docker applications. In the another tab, I am running the ICICI Bank application. Each and every tab is a different process. This process is having the AWS application. This process is having the Docker application. This process is having the ICICI Bank application, which are cumulatively deployed or else cumulatively created on the web browser. In the same manner, on your Docker also, you can run the multiple containers. Inside each and every container, you can run an application. So what exactly is a container and how we are going to work with the container, we'll discuss about these things in the next session. But before I go into the syllabus and the timings and everything, I just want to ask you, do you understand the concept? Up to now, whatever we have discussed, do you understand the concept? Any questions related to that?
Sir, one doubt. As you have mentioned that multiple containers inside a Docker, so the OS resources are going to be shared across these containers?
Yes, of course.
So you mean, for example, container one will have packages, which, I mean, you said low level kind of, but a similar kind of packages, I mean, I can have a higher version of packages inside that container too?
Yeah, you can have it.
Sir?
You can have.
So,
These are like you see. These are like your computers which are there in your company. In one computer, you can run an application with a lower level package. In the another computer, you can run with a higher level package of applications. No.
yeah.
So the same way it is applicable here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to know what is container means. The container is one of the application or anything?
It's an environment to run the application. It's not an application, but it is an environment to run the application. What exactly is container? How these containers are created, we will see in the next session. Depending on two Linux features, the containers are developed, and what are those two Linux features on which the containers are developed, we will see in the next session. Okay. Anything else?
Whatever containers we created, so that we can use in Docker, Podman like that, sir, or it is independent of the technology, or it is like that?
No. It's not an independent. It's not a dependent on technology. Those are the independent. But containers, I will say, rather than the containers, you can have the Docker images which you can run in any environment. You can use it in the Docker environment. You can use the same in the Podman environment. Just give me a second. I will try to explain you. I will try to show you how they are going to work. I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to make you confused. So don't worry about what I am running, what I am writing. Don't worry about that. We will discuss about all these features in the upcoming sessions. But here I am having a Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and as well as I am having the Ubuntu here in which the Docker is installed. I am having a Ubuntu server in which the Docker is installed. Now what I can do here is, in this Red Hat I am having the Podman installed. In the Red Hat server I am having the Podman installed. And in my Ubuntu environment, I am having my Docker installed. Okay.
Yes.
Docker PS. So here I am having my Docker. In the same manner, let me log on to my RHEL server. This is the virtualization, guys. This is the virtual machine which I am using right now. Tomorrow we'll discuss about what is a physical server, what is a virtual machine. Okay. Yeah. So here, I hope you are able to see the screen. 1 second. Good. Podman. PS. So if you see here in Ubuntu, I gave the Docker PS. I mean, in the Docker environment, I have given. In RHL, I have given the Podman. Both are the same. Okay. So now what I can do, I just create a container. Docker run -itd -name test container, or else let me do one thing. Count app container -p 80:5600. What is this? We'll come to know. Just don't worry about this. Whatever the command that I am giving, just look at that. So tomorrow, in the upcoming times, you will understand everything. Okay, with the image Chaitanya Manikumar /Java Slim 11. What is this image? This image I am getting from my Docker Hub. Okay, what is this Docker Hub? You will get to know about this in the Docker architecture. I'm just showing. You asked me a question, no? So whether both the containers, I mean, will be running on the same, or do we need to follow different? So that's why I'm saying you this. Okay, here I am having my Java Slim 11 is there. What is this image? You will come to know. Don't worry. So now, so it will be like this. And when I go to my Podman, so here also I'm going to run the same. Podman run -itd -name count app -p. It is internally. So 80:5600. Chaitanya Manikumar. Java, I mean, Java Slim 11. Okay. So with Docker. So it is pulling from my Docker environment and it is creating the container. So here you can see Docker PS. I have my container available. Okay. So when I try to access, I am going to get an application. 1 second, please. So this is the application which I got from my Docker environment. So if you can see here in the Podman environment also, permission is not there. 1 second. Sudo. So it is running in my local system. Let me do one thing. I will go with 192.168.223.129. Okay. Podman PS. Sudo Podman PS. Here you can see we have a count app is running. So when I hit enter, it is also giving me the same application. Now you tell me. So this is my server IP which is running on my system. So you cannot access that. This is my Red Hat. So this is the container which I have created with the Podman. What is the command that I have used? The same command and the same image. So the Podman is also running the same container. And here you can see in the Docker also, I have used the same image. It is also running the same. So here, what did you understand from this example? Whatever the demo that I have given, what do you understand from this?
Same image can run into different types of containers, Docker and
Different,
Podman.
not
Yeah.
different types of containers, different types of containerization applications.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have used the Docker is one of the containerized platform. Podman is another containerized platform. No? So in these two platforms, we are running the same container with the same image. So this image will have a dependency. Inside the image, you will have the Java. Inside this image, you will have your core application. Whatever the source code that is related to this application is available inside that. What I can say inside that container. Okay, so if you see Docker execute -it count app, I am going inside the container. Okay, so inside the container you will have Java installed, and as well as you are having the source code here. So here you can see app.jar is there. No, so this is the application which is actually it is running. Okay, so inside this container, in the same manner, if you go into the Podman also, if you go into the podman, what you can do, sudo podman execute -it count app and bash. So you are inside the count app. So the same Java -version. So that's why I said you here what is important. So whatever the Dockerized application or else whatever the Podman application that you are taking, these are only the applications to run the container. What is very important for us, the applications that are running inside the container is important. For me, this is important, no? For me or for you also, whatever the application that you are getting, so that is important, not the underlying application, I mean underlying containerized platform. Okay.
So, sir,
Now you got your answer.
So, sir, you will use in Kubernetes, Docker you will use in Kubernetes, or Podman you will use?
Again, that depends. So by default, Kubernetes will use container D. We can use the Docker application also, depending on our requirement. Podman is majorly for
But
OpenShift.
Kubernetes it doesn't support Docker now. Then how you will use then?
Why? I can use Docker. I will show you.
Okay.
I'll show you. Who said Kubernetes will not support it? Did anybody said it?
In documentation, it is there something like it
Kubernetes
is.
Previously up to Kubernetes 1. I did not remember the version 1.25 or 26. We have the compatibility for Docker. Later they have removed the runtime. The compatibility runtime is not there, but if we install the runtime, we can run the application on Docker. I will show you. We have the Kubernetes. In which ways we have the KubeADM. I'll show you what. Okay. Right. Anything else, guys? Okay. So let me go with the basic concepts. I mean, I hope I made it very clear for you how software development lifecycle will be there, and as well as where Docker and Kubernetes will come. And later we have discussed about what is meant by, not very in detail about the container, but what is going to happen with the containers and how the applications will be running inside the container. Now, just to go through the basic syllabus. Before I go into the basic syllabus, the total duration of this course will be 20 to 25 days, guys. 20 to 25 days. But within 25 days, we are going to cover the entire concepts. And then there will be, the timings is 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's not 9:30. It's 8:30 a.m. to mostly 9:30, 9:45. Majorly, it will go to 10 a.m. Okay. I mean, not majorly. My very little amount of time I will take the session up to 10 a.m. But majorly the classes will be completed by 8:30 to 9:30 or 9:45. I'll try to complete by 9:45. If the topic is very vast, then it will go up to 10 o'clock. And the sessions will happen from Monday to Friday. In 4 weeks of sessions, you might have 2 weeks of Saturday and Sunday. 2 or 1 week of Saturday and Sunday sessions will be there. I will tell you when it will be happen. Saturday or Sunday, only 1 week. Most probably 1 week. Okay, 1 weekend will be there. Among the 4 weekends, you will have 1 weekend classes will be there. And then you will get the videos and documents. Okay, whatever the course, I mean, whatever the sessions has happened, you'll get the videos and documents. What else?
I have one question.
Mhm.
I would like to know the training goes on which OS, like Linux or Windows. Like actually, we generally use Windows in our company or in our like local environment. So
Docker is independent of operating system. Okay. Whatever the commands that you run in the Linux, for example, here I have given the Docker PS. Okay. Docker PS. If you go to the Windows, in Windows operating system, there is Docker desktop which you have to install. Okay, it's not about the operating system, it is about how you are working. So if I have to answer your question straight away, it will go with the Linux operating system. If I go to the Windows environment also, in Windows environment, the same commands, docker ps, docker run -itd -name new container with Ubuntu. So the same command which I have given in Linux, the same command you can give in the Windows operating system. It's not about the Linux operating system. It's not about the Windows operating system. Here you are learning about the application. So focus on that.
Okay, so both environment like acceptable the common Docker commands as same.
Do you have, yeah, same. Do you have the knowledge about, I mean, are you a developer?
Yeah, I am a developer.
Which application, I mean, what is the runtime? What is the language that you are working with?
I'm working on Java.
Java. If you are working in Windows operating system, what is the command that you will give to run a Java application?
For compiling Java C and like Java dot something. Yeah, class.
Java space app.java. Or else if you are using the Spring Boot application, Java-jar app.jar. If you are having any YML configuration, -- Spring Boot YML equal to some configuration.yml. So that is the command that you will give, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same command you will use in the Windows and Linux, right? Are you going to use the different commands?
No.
Here, what is important? The compiling is important. Whether you are working with Windows or Linux, the commands will be the same only, no? Application commands will be the same, right? So in the
Okay.
same manner, when you are working with a Docker application, so Docker commands are the same, whether you are going with Windows or Linux.
Okay.
You are talking to the application, not with the operating system. Okay.
Okay.
And coming back to the prerequisites, AWS is basic knowledge of AWS is required. Why? Because we are going to deploy all our servers in the AWS environment. So basic knowledge of AWS is required. Easy to instances and everything. And
Will in AWS
if-
we will like Kubernetes services there and managed
managed services, I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you, but not
like in Azure is there some
in
managed service in
AWS also we have the Elastic Kubernetes service.
So that one will cover or not?
That
I'm
we
asking
will cover only one session. But whatever the Kubernetes cluster that we are creating, we are going to create with the KOps.
Okay.
If someone is not able to like not very beginner in AWS, so
AWS beginners, at least basic knowledge is required. Okay. I'm not saying that you can work with the Docker. Up to Docker, there is no problem. So you can create in your Windows system, you can run it. So if you still want to run with the Windows environment, you can run with that with the help of Minikube. But there is a problem whenever we are working with the Minikube. I want to tell you in the production grade how the cluster will be created, how we can run with the multiple types of tools. We are having we can create a cluster with KubeADM tool. We can create a cluster with KOps tool. We can create the Kubernetes cluster with the Rancher. So in the production grade, I want to tell you. So no, sir, I am a developer. I want to learn in the development stage. Then you can go simply install Minikube and you can run that Kubernetes cluster in your Windows environment also. Okay. So my requirement, I mean, I am telling you that AWS is a basic requirement. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to know about S3 buckets, you need to know about IAM, you need to know about very in detail about VPC configurations, NAT gateways, VPN configurations, or else I don't require you to learn about RDS configurations in AWS. But how to create an EC2 instance is minimum requirement. Okay. No, sir, I don't know. If you are having a server, if you are having your computer which is having 16 GB of RAM, you can simply run the Minikube or else simply run the Docker application on your computer also. Okay. And yeah, when we come to the syllabus for Docker, it will be Docker basics, Docker
So how many
networking.
days served in Docker? How many days?
First of all, what I'm saying, please see it. I already said you 20 to 25 days, the entire course will be complete. First, let me tell you the syllabus. Later, we will have the conversation about how many days.
Okay.
Docker networking, Docker images, or else Docker image creation, Docker volumes, and Docker compose, Docker smart. So the Docker will take 7 days of sessions to complete, mostly 6 to 7 days. And later we will be diving into the Kubernetes. In Kubernetes, we will be discussing about K8s basics. Okay, and then cluster creation with KubeADM and KOps, workload components, pods, deployments, replica sets, stateful sets, and daemon sets, services. Okay, in services, cluster IP, load balancer, node port, external name services, headless services. These are we are going to cover. Ingress, probes. In probes, we will have the readiness probe, liveliness probe, and startup probe. And then sidecar containers. We'll have the init containers and adapter containers. Later, we'll be discussing about namespaces and resource quotas, RBAC, role-based access control, storage. In storage, we'll be discussing about persistent volume claims, empty directory, and then what we are going to discuss. We will be discussing about storage classes, dynamic provisioning, EFS mounting. These are all the things will be there in the storage. And later we'll be discussing about network policies and HPA and VPA, horizontal pod autoscaling and virtual pod autoscaling. And then we'll be discussing about help, STO service mesh will be there, and finally GitOps. We are going to discuss about these concepts in the Kubernetes, which is going to take some 15 to 20 days of session. So this is the entire topic. These are the entire topics that we are going to cover. Okay. So this is about the syllabus of your Docker and Kubernetes.
These videos
Okay.
and notes are permanent, sir, or it is any limited access for 60 days?
1
like
year
that?
of access will be there.
Okay.
So, sir, actually, this syllabus that will actually help in certification exam. Like once completed this one, can we register for
You
certificate?
can register for CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator.
So exam preparations that you will provide, or
I will provide you the material. I will provide you the classes. You have to prepare it. Okay. And here I did not include Rancher and AWS EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Services. So these are all the things that we are going to cover in the Kubernetes. So that's it. So have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session. We'll discuss more and more topics related to Docker and Kubernetes in the upcoming time. So tomorrow we'll start with containerization platform. Okay.
Same time, sir,
So
tomorrow?
same time, 9:30. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also you will have the same time, and from Thursday onwards it will be 8:30 a.m. Okay. And one more thing that I want to mention here is, please provide a proper email address or proper mobile number so that we can contact you related to. We are not going to ask you many questions, whether are you interested in joining or not, just one word. Okay. So we just want to collect a feedback. So we will call you and we will just ask you for the feedback. If you are interested, you can simply say that I am interested. If you are not interested, say that I am not interested. No problem. Okay. And one more thing, what are the sessions that I am taking right now? So I want the candidates to be more and more expressive, more and more. If you talk to me more, I can provide you more knowledge. Okay. Okay, guys. Have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session. Bye.